Hello, everybody. I'm so sorry. We lost it right there. The internet went off, and I hope some of you will be back. Yeah, Rochelle is back. Flair is back. Gab Guevara is back. Oke Udo is back. Stephen McCoy is back. Kofi Yeboah is back. Bebe Undum is back. Hope Alive. Bola Luro. Jacqueline Ojo. Mayowa is back. Midian Souza is here. Adebayo Lalon is here. Damilare is back. Tokumbo is here. Sorry for that, it's just cut off. Fumi Adewusi is back. Olukayode is here. Fela Banki is here. Olugbenga Ajayi is back. Oshuko is here. Isaac Ameyan is back. Nosa Favor is here. Yetunde is back. Regine is here. Emmanuel Gideon. Ninos Nidal. Tosin Ajayi is back. Twal Marwan is back. Tosin Agbaka is back. Adeneka Mayowa is back. Fa Mohapi is here. Fatima. Oh, that's Fatima. Charles Oyewusi is back. Obediah is here. Matthew Ojulu is back as well. Allen is here. Fumi Adewusi, Emmanuel Paul, Cheryl Gatshalian is back. Nikki is back. Julius Osime is back. Susan Bashera, Okwayemi, Ferdinand, Sandra, everyone is back. Okay, let's go to share the link, please, before we continue the teaching. Please, will you please quickly go and look for your share button, and let's go and share the link again, because this is a new link. So let's go share the link, okay? No, go back to your share button. Let's go share that link, this new link, before we could go ahead, okay? So go ahead and share the link, and then we'll take off from there. Okay, just go ahead and share that link. Find the link again. Let's share it, and then we'll be ready to go back. Okay, if you have shared the link, then we'll continue the message. Okay. Well, the message of today is whatever you can spend your time doing without noticing time, whatever you could get yourself engulfed in without noticing the time, is actually your calling. So whatever you can do, whatever you can be so much involved with and occupied with without noticing time, not just one time or two times, but all the time. Whatever you can do without noticing time is your calling. It's your calling. So I was telling the story of my life that, when I was a kid, that that is one of the things I used to like to do, just study, just be on my own and study. And I used to remember that when I would be in the room, I would start to read like 9 o'clock in the morning. That's when, I was free, until they come and get me to go to the farm, of course. But if they don't get me, let's say a day when they don't get me to go to the farm, I will be in the room just lying on that bed and reading. I just like it. And when it becomes dark, when it's becomes like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the night, I'm so happy that, wow, I've conquered that day. I've subdued that day. I've been able to use that day to conquer a book. I've been able to, I've conquered the day and the book. I've done so much work. I used to feel so much satisfaction. But nobody used to value those things, you see. In my own environment, they used to value the trees and the firewood more than the same thing with today. If you have your children that they have a topic that I had another boy that he used to just like music a lot. You know, that is the calling that is indwelt in these people that is coming out. So your calling that is dwelling in you, your destiny that is already in you, because your calling is in you. The calling that God has given to you is right there in your heart. It's buried in your system. And so it is that calling that is driving you to want to just immerse yourself in that particular thing that you are doing. So that's what God does with us. God makes you to go, to feel like spending your time and your life on that particular thing that is, because it's your nature. Your calling is in you. Your calling is in your nature. Your destiny is in your system. It's buried in you. So it's calling. It's just like the story of that eagle that is on the ground, and that is with the chicken on the ground. And he's just walking on the ground, but that's not his nature. That's not where it belongs. So when he sees the mother eagle flying one day, he says, I can do that, and flies away. That is how we are as well. When we see something that is related to our nature and our calling and to the destiny that we have in us, you are drawn to it. And that's why you spend more time in those things than in the things that are not in you, and not part of your nature. So what is that thing that you could involve yourself in, that you could imagine yourself in so much that you will not even care for the time? And you remember the story I just told you, George Washington Carver. I didn't finish that story, you see. But George Washington Carver will go into the laboratory, because he will study trees and everything, but then he will take samples of trees and leaves and plants, and he would just want to get to the bottom of it. George Washington Carver was I already told you how unique he was, but he would take those things and go into the laboratory. But laboratory those days, they are not so well equipped like now. So even with those poorly equipped laboratories, he was able to get together what he needed to study and do the research that he needed to do. Now listen to this. One thing with George Washington Carver was this: he will go in many times. This happened to him. He will go in, let's say on Monday in the afternoon, 2:00, or no, sorry. He will go in, let's say on Monday, 7:00 in the morning to the library. To the laboratory. He will be doing research. He's so much involved and engulfed in doing his research in the laboratory, that when it is Friday, 2:00 on Friday, all the workers and his staff and the students will now decide to go and break in the door. They will knock. He's not even hearing them. He is so busy. So by the 5 days, not eating. He only had water there, maybe just drinking water. No food, nothing. Locked himself inside. When it is Friday, people go in and break the door and they thought he was dead. Can you imagine what a calling is? And he started doing this when he was a child, when he was 5 years old, 3 years old. He would go to the bush near him and go and begin to study the trees, the leaves. And people thought he was crazy, that he was abnormal. But he would talk to the trees and learn from the trees. But when he got an opportunity to invest himself into it, he was just going to the laboratory and would not leave that laboratory. So your body, your system, your heart, your soul, you are wired up to fulfill a certain calling. You are wired up to do something on the earth. And there is no way you will not come across that thing. You will come across that thing, and when you find it, there is a natural tendency that you want to spend more time doing that thing. And because it is indwelling in you, it is in your heart, it will draw you to that thing that you will feel that you are at home doing it. Even though, can you imagine somebody not eating? It's not that he was not hungry. He was hungry. It's not that he was not bored. It was not difficult to just be in one place for a week. But it was difficult. But He was so much interested in getting the result. He was so much interested in, in bringing out what is hidden in him. You see, so many things are so much hidden in you that you need time to really release them. You need time to release them. So because you need time to release that thing, that is why it's not just has to be about laboratory, or it doesn't have to be just with book. I mean, it could be with something like, it could be anything. It could be singing, it could be playing. Do you know Salvador Dali and all those people, the great artists, the Michelangelo? I mean, they will go. Michelangelo went when he was doing the thing in the church, the sabbatical or whatever I call it. He will be there for 3 months. They will be bringing food for him to eat there. He will go into the lab studio. They call it studio. He will go into the studio to do painting, just drawing painting. For 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, just sitting there in the studio. They will be bringing food for him to eat there. He will go and eat and come back to the studio. In fact, they were basically living there in the studio. All those big artists. I mean, people like Bach, Beethoven. That's the way they lived. They will be practicing 16 hours a day, 15 hours a day. Nobody is pushing them to do it. They were doing it. What is it that you could spend so much time doing that time doesn't count? That time doesn't count. What is it that you could spend so much time doing that is your calling? That is your calling. That's your destiny. The same thing with Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison will be in the laboratory. He will be there. I mean, the same thing with the other guy. All these other guy that they said is better than Thomas Edison. He was a student of. He went to work with Nikola Tesla. I think Tesla they call him. Tesla, yes. Tesla also. Tesla will be in the laboratory for weeks. What is it that you could really spend your time on, that you could really, put your head in and just go and do it? Not because you are not suffering. It's not because it's not painful. Because some people tell me, oh, it's because they're enjoying it. No, you don't enjoy pain. Nobody enjoys pain. But you see the value in what you are doing. You see the greater value in what you're doing. So much value that, you think it's worthwhile. And you are ready to pay the price. It's not going to come easy. But when we want to live an easy life, when we want to live a cheap life, then we have a cheap worth. We don't have worth. We don't have value. We don't have, any achievement, no accomplishment, because we are living an easy life. So there are some things you should find out in yourself. Ask yourself the question: are there some things that I can fully immerse myself in? Is there anything that I could devote myself to without even caring for how long? If I was supposed to be left alone in one place for a year, what will I prefer to be doing in that place for 1 whole year? What will I be spending my time doing? Well, that is what your calling is. People like Microsoft founder Bill Gates. I mean, he will go out of class. People wanted him to go to the class. He was in Harvard. Harvard is the dream of many people. He will leave the classes for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, just in the underground by himself, studying and doing research on computer, and see the result today. In fact, I listened to him yesterday. I listened to Bill Gates yesterday. He was giving a speech where he said one of the secrets is that he would always take, every year he does this, he will take, and he has been doing this forever, he will always go away for 2 weeks and lock himself up. So he practiced solitude. Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, all of them practiced going alone, to go away from any human being for weeks on, just thinking. You know, when I tell people that I go on solitude, people ask me, what do you do there? People who have their calling, who know what their calling is, they don't ask that kind of question. They go and study, they go and think, they go and be alone with themselves, with God. They go and give birth to new things. Even though Bill Gates said he's not a believer, but he still practiced solitude. Even though all those other great men that were practicing solitude, because they understand the importance of time. They understand the importance of time. That the more you spend time with something, the more you can have better results. So there are two aspects of this. Just like I said yesterday, there are two aspects of preparation. One aspect of preparation is whatever you can do without preparing is your calling. But for you to be competitive, for you to be able to produce anything qualitative, you need preparation. You need quality preparation. The same thing here as well. So whatever you can spend time on without thinking, or without, whatever you can, without noticing time, whatever you can do without noticing time is your calling. But that doesn't mean that you are going to be effective. That doesn't mean that you are going to be competitive. For you to really be competitive, you must work smart. You must not just spend time doing the thing, but you must find the best way to do the thing. For you to really be competitive and to really be productive, you must look for a way to spend time to improve yourself, to better yourself, to make sure that you are doing the thing you are doing and you are spending time judiciously. Because it is not just enough for you to spend time doing some rubbish thing, some elementary thing. It's just like saying, oh, farming is my passion. So I go to the bush or to the farm, and you just go and take a cutlass or a hoe and be doing farming, for the rest of your life. But why somebody would just come with a combine or a tractor and do the combine, the thing you were doing for 40 years, you will just do in one day. So you must learn to use your time judiciously as well. So it's not there are there are two sides to this message today. So on one hand, whatever you can just spend time on without counting time, without looking at time, is your calling. But on the other hand, you must also know the secret of time. I mean, I went to Los Angeles one time. A friend of mine has a big church there. It's a public, church building that, that people, they used to give out for concerts for singers and musicians. And so this is a big church building for 15,000 people. And because it's one of the biggest things there, so people like Madonna, even though she's an unbeliever, but they will come and rent the church premises and they will use it just for a concert. And so this pastor was telling me that we think that these worldly people are just worldly, and they are, they don't know God, and Michael Jackson, they will go and rent that place. Houston, Whitney Houston, they will go and rent the place. She said before the concert is 2 weeks to go, that Madonna will fly in from England and be coming for rehearsal for 2 weeks and dancing, these dancers, people, she and her whole team and dancers practicing and dancing and singing for 18 to 15 hours every day. 18 hours, 15 hours, 15 to 18 hours, 15 to 18 hours every day for 2 weeks before the concert. And the concert is just supposed to be for 60 minutes. For 60 minutes concert, that Madonna will come for 2 weeks and be, practicing, rehearsing. The same thing with Michael Jackson. 6 months before a concert, they are already practicing and singing. And we who are not practicing, not singing, not dancing, not doing anything, we just want to do by the grace of God. I ask for the anointing. Hallelujah. May the anointing of God. That's why you can never be competitive. That's why their songs are being sold. That's why they're as good as they are. You must spend your time judiciously. You must spend your time to be the best in what you are doing. You must spend your time to be competitive. I mean, there is statistics that says that if you are not spending up to 10,000 hours to practice and to rehearse whatever you are doing, you will never be on top of your game. You will never be on top of your game. You must spend at least 10,000 hours, 10,000 to 20,000 hours. 10,000 hours is like saying you are spending 3 to 6 hours every day for the next 10 years. For the next 10 years. Maybe 6 hours. Maybe 3 to 6 hours every day for the next 10 years. If you can do that, to repeat, to practice whatever you're doing, then you'll be a master. You just like Olympic champions too. We have Olympics going on now. People want to go for Olympic champions, and 4 years is too small. It's not enough. It's not enough to have 10,000 hours. You have to practice 10,000 hours minimum. 2 hours for the next 20 years. For you to really be effective. So whatever you spending time determines the quality of your product. But not just spending time blindly, but you must also spend time wisely. So that is the second aspect of our teaching. So let me give you some principles on time management and spending time, so that you could spend time with your gift, spend time with your calling to bring about the best results. Some principles here. 1, you must know that time is one of the greatest wealth that God has given unto us. It's one of the greatest. The only thing that could compare to time, is work. There are 2 greatest gifts that God has given unto us. That the greatest gift that God has given unto us is time. The second greatest gift that God has given unto us is work. Those 2 things, they are nothing as great apart from your own personal life. So it's not money you need. These things, money will come as a result of judicious use of time and the love for hard work. So those 2 things are some of the greatest things God has given unto us. So time is one of the 2 greatest things that God has given unto us. And so time is your resource. It's a special resource that you must value. And while value time means you are doing the best thing you could do at that particular moment with that time. That is, if you are spending even time on something that you love to do, you must make sure that you are getting the best of it. You are doing it in the best of ways that is possible. But one thing with time, because it's so valuable and because it's so special, one thing with time is that you can never be able to store time or save time or use time later. So every minute of your life must be countable. It must be valuable, you must be accountable for every minute. You must make sure that every hour of your day is bringing out some result and is bringing out some product. Because once it goes, it's gone. So you must always add hard work into time. You must always make sure that every minute is giving you something. You are doing something productive, creative. That is why one of the greatest discoveries of your life is to be able to discover what is it that you can enjoy spending time on without even looking at the time. If you can find out, that's why some of these great musicians and these great artists, all these classic, all these masterpieces that we enjoy and we talk about, that is what made them who they are. They were able to combine the genius of time and the genius of hard work. And that is why they are unrepeatable. That's why they are one in their own class. You see, there is nobody that is being deprived by God. All of us have the same amount of time each day. All of us have the same amount of resources. God has blessed us the same way. The greatest blessing any man could have is time, and God gave it equally to every man. And the second greatest thing God has given to man is work, the ability to work. And God has given that to every man also. So there is no reason why any one of us cannot be successful. If we could spend our time judiciously to get information, to add value to ourselves, to know the best and all that needs to be known about our passion, our area of passion, that thing we could spend more time on, and without even caring for the time, if we could spend that time judiciously, that is work as well. And then if you could come out of that time spending and go ahead and actually actualize it and and work for it to come to pass, you are unbeatable. There is no excuse for failure. There's just no way for you not to be successful. It's so easy to be successful, especially if you know the secret of these things that we're talking about, time and work. You know, anywhere you go, people complain of not having enough time. But really, you don't need time for any other thing. You only need time for one thing. You only need time for the thing that you know you are created for. You only need time for one thing. So if you will reduce all your other activities that are stealing away your time, if you will be able to reduce all the other mundane things that you are doing, working, just winding away your time, if you could sit down and make analysis of the things that are stealing away your time, and only do things that either add value to you or allow you to add value to yourself, or you do things that allow you to add value to others, or you do things that you know is improving you and or is in line with your destiny. That is when you can, isolate yourself within the scope of your calling, within the scope of your gifting, within the scope of the destiny that is waiting for you. Then you will never complain about time or not having time anymore. You prioritize your life around all activities that you'll be involved with, will be only activities that have one way are benefiting, contributing to you one way or the other in the area of your calling, or making you to contribute or to release something to the world in the area of your calling. So if you are able to find out that thing that you are called to do, or that you are destined to confront, to do, to where you are gifted in, you have found your calling, make sure that you invest your time purposefully in making yourself better in that area, in adding more value to yourself in that area, in developing that skill, that area of your calling, in cultivating yourself, tilling your ground, making yourself the best you could do, and you are doing it the best way. You are not using cutlass and horse to do farming. You are using the best technology possible. You are studying it. You are not even talking about being a fellow. You will not even be average. You will not even be mediocre. The ability to judiciously use time and work. And work could be mental work. Work could be physical work or spiritual work. But one way or the other, just make sure that you are working, using time to work. Either you are using time to add value to yourself spiritually, or you are using time to add value to yourself mentally, or you are using that time to add value to yourself physically. You are doing something with your time. That is the secret of efficiency and of greatness in this world. So you will not be in the group of people who are always blaming time for their lack of efficiency. Time is not to blame at all. Time is great. Time is great. Time is a wealth that must be maximized. Time is a wealth that must be maximized. So plan your life and your life activities around your destiny, around your calling. Make sure that all your callings, one way or the other, are adding to your calling. All your activities, one way or the other, are adding to your calling. That everything you do is connected one way or the other. Either you are the one giving value, or you are receiving value, or adding value to yourself. So work, the combination of work and time, is the secret of greatness. Using time judiciously. One of the greatest things you could do with time is to make conscious decisions. Is to be conscious with your time. To be here and now. To be in the here and now. There are some people that you are talking to them. You say, hey, where are you? Oh, sorry. Oh, what did you say? If those are the people who kill time. But if you are able to be here and now, you don't daydream. You don't transport yourself in your mind. But you are always here in the consciousness every day. And you are trying to take all your decisions, make conscious decisions, conscious work, conscious action, conscious activity, conscious steps, you are conscious with everything you do. If you do everything in the here and now, in consciousness, that is one of the greatest key to productivity. That's one of the greatest way to use time. Do everything, question everything you are doing. Am I using this time well right now? Is it the best thing I could be doing right now? Is it the real secret? Am I here in the now? Is this thing I'm doing right now the best? Just the ability to question yourself like that. Am I doing what I'm supposed to do now? Is what I'm doing right now relating to what I'm supposed to do in life? The ability to make conscious decisions, to be in the consciousness, in the here and now, is one of the greatest ways to maximize time. Consciousness, being in the here and now, helps you to make important, valuable decisions and to do things that will really bring effective result to you. If you are in consciousness and you are always mentoring your thought, that your thought is not flying away, you'll be able to make sure that you are only thinking the direction of your destiny. You're only thinking in the direction of productivity. You are pragmatic in everything. So you are doing only things that are important to you. Only things that are important to your destiny, to your calling. If you could be in consciousness and consciously do, even work a few hours of the day, but concentrated, focused, consciously, even 3-4 hours a day or 3 hours on your calling, you will still be better than everybody else. If you will consciously, intentionally be in the here and now and be conscious in whatever you are doing, it will blow your mind. It will blow your mind. It will take you closer to your goal, and you will be surprised at the kind of achievements and progress you will make in life. I have a book that's going to be released. It's going to be called How to Be Here in the Here and Now. How to Be in the Here and Now. Esther just helped me to edit it. It was written in Russian language too, but everybody needs that book. How to Be in the Here and Now. Unfortunately, people don't know how to be in the here and now. They're always thinking of things. But if you could concentrate your mind just on one thing or on a few things, genius is going to be born. You are going to become a genius, whether you like it or not. So, thinking and using our time to do and concentrate on what we are called to do will improve you. It will improve you. It will improve your skills. Being intentional with your thought, be intentional with your action, be intentional in everything you do will increase your accomplishment. And with less effort and more and time. And then if you spend more effort and more time, you cannot even imagine how much kind of result you begin to have. So people always wonder, Pastor Sandey, why are you doing this thing you are doing twice a day? How come you are doing it so times a day? Well, because I know the secrets that I'm telling you right now. Because I know that time is going anyway. Either you like it or not, time is going anyway. Time is going anyway. That day, this hour I'm spending with you now, it will go anyway. Either I use it or I don't use it, it's my problem. And if you are not using it for anything, but you must use every time that is going. Make sure that they are giving you one way or one result or the other. Either you are adding value to people like I'm doing right now, adding value to you, or I'm studying, adding value to myself, or I'm working, producing value to the world. Or I'm, working spiritually, imagine myself into God, adding value to me from God, and adding value to the kingdom of God. So when you live like that, you not need to complain about time and all that, because you are not wasting your energy, you are not wasting your time. You are becoming more productive, more creative. You are doing the right thing at the right time. And you are living a more balanced life and a more fulfilled life. But of course, people will be complaining that, you don't want to talk to us, we are your friends, you are not coming. Like, for example, I dropped my telephone. I don't have telephone anymore. I don't use telephone. I have it, but it's with my secretary, it's with my PA. I don't pick telephone. I talk on Skype, but I don't speak telephone. Because I don't want to be people, I want to do what I need to do. But people will be getting annoyed at you, say, you are not calling, why are you not in touch now? Why are you not chatting? Why are you not doing this? Make sure that you get your priorities right. It's your life. It's your life. It's your life. Some people are asking, how do they get my books? I have my books on Amazon, and then you have my books on Okada Books in Nigeria. So if you are from Africa, you can get it on Okada Books. Or you can go to Amazon to get it. So, you know, there is a link here, I think somebody has provided today. So you can go and get it. You see, one of the greatest tragedies of our age is the distractions that we have.